美国男孩为什么为了来台湾放弃美国高薪水的工作？
I decided right away to actually put in my 2-week notice at work and move over here.
他为什么来台湾之后就放弃了23年完全吃素的生活习惯？
I heard that you've been a vegan for 23 years, right?
Yeah.
而且最重要，他有没有后悔的决定搬到台湾？
For the first 4 days, I was kind of confused about some things.
我们来一起看 David 的故事。
Hi, my name's David. I'm new to Taipei. I've been here about 7 months. Looking forward to starting to study Mandarin.
How did you know about Taiwan in the first place?
I heard about Taiwan in 2013. I actually met a girl in California, and she was from Taipei,
Oh.
and got me really interested in Taiwan.
What was the difference between dating a girl from Taiwan and a girl from United States?
Oh, yeah. Well, very ambitious, polite, I think very thoughtful. Some of the main differences is in California, I don't want to put anything in a box, but there is a couple different types of dating cultures. And one is like very family oriented. So you get to know their family and you spend a lot of time with them and their family. And it takes a lot of responsibility, a lot of time, which you may not have. And then the other challenge is we have a very strong kind of like an entitled sugar daddy culture. Because they just like want gifts. So it's a big difference, I think. So here you could have real relationships, I think, which kind of started to get lost in California since the dating apps came out.
So like a lot of girls are kind of like money oriented?
Yeah, because they're so popular on Instagram, and everyone has a lot of guys messaging them all the time. So they're always like, "What can you do for me?"
And then like what was like the first time that you came here to Taiwan?
I just came here this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
this year in March. Yeah.
What was the reason that you decided to come here?
At first, I wanted to travel. I was just working, and I decided to vacation here. I first started by just looking at random places to travel on different travel sites, and then I started to do something more focused, and specifically thought about like Taipei came back in my mind. And I was like, I'm gonna go visit. And I just was gonna plan like a 3-week visit. Throughout that time while I was planning, I would say within about 3 weeks, I was planning for something like 3-4 months down the road. And I decided right away to actually put in my 2-week notice at work and move over here.
Also, you decided to quit your job in the States?
Instead of taking the vacation time. Because in California, inflation was going up so high, and I was like measuring my profit from work, and I was like, I could establish a new digital life over here. So I got really interested in Taipei as well as like being a digital nomad.
Okay. Wow, that's very interesting. What do you think about people's English here in Taiwan?
I feel like people speak good English and they might be a little shy. I know some people, they use it every day and they're comfortable with it. They may still say, it's not that great, but I usually find it's very good. But there are a lot of places I go to, like convenience stores and stuff like that, where it doesn't seem like they use English. So I definitely feel like I need to study Mandarin. There's many areas, like the touristy areas, that people speak English, but there's a lot of areas that people still don't. Yeah.
像 David 说的，我觉得如果用 italki 学英文或其他语言就可以方便很多了。像在大家都知道，讲英文的能力是非常重要，而且台湾在学英文的方面真的很前面的。但是有时候去补习班不一定可以找到美国老师，或是如果我们要1对1学英文的话，价格经常会蛮贵的。所以用 italki 的平台真的可以帮我们解决找好的老师的问题，而且还可以方便的在家里1对1上课。italki 平台有非常多老师，比如说如果我们要学英文，我们可以看到目前他们有4800多个老师，所以我们一定可以找到适合的老师。而且如果我们要学其他的语言的话，用 italki 的平台也是没问题。在 italki 可以学150多个语言，所以你想学的语言，他们的平台应该都有。我们现在来在 italki 平台上课看看。我们这边找到的老师是叫 Erica， 这个老师来自美国。
So as you were saying, you've struggled with grammar and pronunciation for a while. Like most people, I would say. Like, how do you compare those to English in terms of pronunciation? So do you also have words that are pronounced differently than they are spelled, or is it pretty straightforward?
而且他们还有免费的语言学习的交流地区，在我可以继续练习英文。而且最棒的是，这个功能是免费的。italki 另外一个的特色是在那边不需要订阅，我们可以一次一次汇款学费，然后我们可以找到对我们比较有帮助的老师。比如说，如果我们要准备TOEIC，我们就可以找到这种的老师。或是如果我们有在英文的哪一个部分需要比较多帮助，我们就可以找到适合的老师。所以在italki，不管你现在在哪里，现在是几点，或是你想学是哪一个语言，在italki的平台学语言真的非常方便。我在下面跟留言区都会放链接，如果你们是新用户，可以连接我的链接注册，所以我们可以来italki上课看看，而且用我的折扣码 Alice 就可以得到买10元美元送5元免费的优惠。那我现在继续采访 David。
And then, like, what was the key factors that like make you decide that I want to stay here?
Key factor is definitely the people, because out of all the places I've been to, I would say the people here are super friendly, they're warm, they're welcoming. I felt like there was a lot to do, so I was entertained all the time. Things aren't overly expensive, they're reasonable. Yeah, I see a lot of activities for kids and stuff like that, so I think long term down the line, it might be a place I want to grow up, maybe have a family, so yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So when you compare like the life, let's say in California and the life in Taipei, what are the main differences?
So in California, you drive all the time. You have to have your car. So you're used to spending a lot of time in your car commuting. And so you don't have a lot of people around you. And then you go to work, you sit down all day, and then you go home and sit down all day and watch TV or do something on your computer. So you sit all the time. Even if you go out, it's like a small part of your life. Here, I feel like people are always going out, they're doing things. Public transportation is really great. It gets you fit. I trimmed down and got in shape in only 3 months of being here. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's a big difference.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
What was your first impression when you just came here for the first time?
I guess I was a little bit of culture shock at first because I wasn't used to all the scooters, and I didn't understand where they were going, and I felt like I needed to dodge them. I didn't see any of the locals ever looking behind them and stuff, and I was always concerned. So I'd say for the first 4 days, I was kind of confused about some things, and then things just started clicking, making sense to me. I think I ended up watching a couple of YouTube videos and explained a lot of stuff.
Okay. I think you said like you've been here 3 times, right, before you moved here. And can you tell us more about this story? So how was it like that came here for the first time, then like you go to other countries, then like you come back, and then like you decide to come back here kind of like to like stay here for the longer time?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the preparation before I came here is I brought a bunch of suitcases and I knew I can get some things here, and I was just excited. I had already made some friends online. You know, I had people meet me, show me around, help me get started, and I just felt, like I said, so warm and welcome that I wanted to come back. And during my time of being here, I had met a girl and lived in Taichung. She also lived in Switzerland, so I kind of traveled around, took a trip with her to Japan, went to Italy, Switzerland, ended up going to France and all of the UK.
Oh, so it's been like a lot of different countries.
Yeah, and then during this process, I was applying to jobs here, applying to jobs online, because you can always work online. I only applied to one job in California, but that was the one I got. And I took that job. That was in August. So I hadn't been back to Taiwan yet since April. So I was here in March and April. I left, went to California.
So you started to work there, right?
Yeah, I started working there in person. I was running their technology. The job was great. I had worked for that company before for a total of 10 years. I loved it. People are very nice. They're warm, welcoming. They were doing like multiple celebrations when I got there. But unfortunately, California right now is difficult to find housing. I still had my car. I still had all my stuff from my storage unit. I just needed to find a place to put it in. I'd be comfortable. Even when I was there, I was like, I'm only going to be here temporarily. I knew I wanted to come back to Taiwan. Yeah, so I stayed there for almost 2 months and then came back to Taiwan, living in Taipei, yeah.
So you quit your job and come here?
Yeah, I wanted to stay longer and make more money first, but there's just not much to do there. And even though work was great, I felt like all I was doing was working, and I wanted to come and at least learn a lot more here. I just kind of felt hungry to learn. So I wanted to come here and just keep learning, pushing myself, doing a lot of activities.
Oh wow! Actually, like the job was kind of like it was good payment and everything, but you just decided to like quit and come here, right?
Yeah, I kept trying to convince him if there's a way I could do it online. I was like, I could do my job completely online.
But they said no.
They said since the pandemic ended, they can't do it anymore.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Like you decided that you're gonna move here for the longer time, right?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the new life here?
I do, actually, I do. Some things like I used to be really active in high school. In high school, you have a bunch of people around you and you have a lot of options. As I became an adult, it seemed like the options were a lot less and it was all about work. So since I was here, I was able to kind of be more active again. I started taking some swim classes and some dance classes and going to the gym and yeah, just more active stuff and hiking. And so there's a lot of things to see.
Right.
Yeah, everything just seems to be working out so far, yeah.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I heard that you've been a vegan for 23 years, right?
Yeah.
So then like why do you decide to try some of the meals with the meat when you were here in Taiwan?
Interesting question. All the places I have traveled to before, I had continued to be vegan, and even when I came here, I had first came as a vegan. It actually wasn't until I came back from California recently, so in August.
So it's like from your third time when you came here to
Yeah,
Taiwan, right?
yeah, and it wasn't that there was any issues of like finding healthy food. I mean, this place has so many options for food, but it was just that I decided that I was gonna start taking invites to go over people's houses, and their parents were gonna be cooking and stuff like that, and wanted to be a little bit more flexible.
And
so I tried some things. I was more open to going out and trying food. So I went to the night market because the first couple times I was here, there wasn't much vegan options. So I went to the night market and I was able to finally try some things.
What is your favorite Taiwanese food so far?
Hot pot?
Hot pot,
As
okay.
I would say I eat hot pot 4 nights a week.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Probably because I am American, it's all you can eat. So I still have a big appetite. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And then like I want to ask you the last question. Like if you have the chance, like what would you change about Taiwan?
Change about Taiwan?
Yeah.
If I had a recommendation, is some of the apps maybe to have options for English.
Oh, okay.
Because a lot of people do speak English.
Right.
They come from a lot of countries, I know. So I think that might help. But other than that, like I wouldn't recommend any other change than maybe that over time, and I think companies will embrace that. So.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, so yeah, that's it for this interview. Now let's say bye-bye together, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.